Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scout Sports 101. I didn't get a chance to recap the late games yesterday, so we'll call it a late games post-game show. But I'll also go over the early games on a Monday Night Football update show we'll do. And a Sunday Night Football post-game show, too. Because I did not get to do that last night. I'm waiting for my things to light up here on the screen. There's a little technical problem with that. But I will get back to that momentarily. First, we're going to talk about yesterday's Browns game. It was a rough afternoon for the Browns against the Arizona Cardinals as they lose by the final score of 37-14. Cleveland has dropped 2 in a row for the first time under head coach Kevin Stefanski. Lost its first game at home this season and falls to 500 at 3-3. As for the Cardinals, it looks like the Arizona Cardinals are very much for real as they go to 6-0 even without their head coach Cliff Kingsbury, excuse me, not Cliff Kingsley. And Kingsbury and a lot of Arizona's top defensive linemen were out with COVID, but that did not deter Kyler Murray on the offense. But let's deal with our team, the Browns, right now. The Browns went into this game without their 2 top offensive tackles, and that was indeed a problem. James Hudson III and Blake Hance went in on the right and left sides, respectively. J.J. Watt had his best game so far this season. Baker Mayfield was very much under a lot of stress in the pocket for much of the afternoon. Mayfield got belted around a number of times, which led him to injuring his shoulder after a fumble late in the game. He had to come and go to the tent, but came back in before handing the ball. To Case Keenum with the game very much out of reach, out of touch and reach, The Browns also lost Kareem Hunt, who played in Nick Chubb's absence. He got hurt late in the fourth quarter with Cleveland down at the Arizona 7-yard line and trying to convert, and it looks like he could be lost and out for some time, and he will be out for at least 4 to 6 weeks. His injury was not a season-ending injury. He managed to dodge that. So we will not have Hunt for about 4 to 6 weeks, but hopefully we'll get him back because he wants to get the Browns back to the playoffs and hopefully make a run for it in the playoffs this postseason. He was taken off in a golf cart and was really upset and emotional, signifying he knew his injuries. He knew the injury he sustained was pretty significant. Jeremiah Ujwu Carmona also had to be taken to the locker room with an ankle injury. Remember, the Browns come back and play on Thursday night against the Denver Broncos, and the injuries just keep piling up. The other issue that hit the Browns last week as well as yesterday was the defense. A ton of money and a lot of draft capital were spent to build that defense back, but it has been torched the last 2 games, these last 2 weeks. Murray threw 4 touchdown passes, and the very fact that guys are running wide open against the secondary is a real problem. It could be 3rd down and whatever, and the team playing against the Browns end up with huge plays that keep drives going, and if not, score all the way. Defensively, they're just not getting it at all. And unless they can turn that around, they are going to have to be a lot of long Sundays by far. So they need to step it up and turn this thing around, and very quickly, I might add. Now, you could try to run the ball against the Browns, but why? Oh, God, excuse me. Now, as I was saying before, you could try to run the ball against the Browns, but why? And you're going to have you can just throw the ball on them, and you're going to have great success. Really, the defense has been a huge, utter disappointment, and certainly in the last 2 weeks. That's why I have said that they need to really step this thing up and turn this thing around, and very quickly, I might add. That's why I've just repeated that. Finally, you look at the Browns' offense once again, and you wonder, where is it going? Mayfield is taking a beating because the offensive line is beaten up and injured, missing his 2 top tackles, Jedrick Willis Jr. and Jack Conklin. Are they going to be able to operate that way? Will they have a running game Thursday night? On that note, if Chubb misses again and Hunt is out, that's going to be a huge issue. And for it's what the Browns built this whole thing on, excuse me. The passing game was also a problem for Mayfield during the game. Except for a Hail Mary heave on the last play of the first half, Donovan Peoples-Jones made a miraculous 57-yard touchdown catch to get the Browns within 9. That was one of his 2 scores for him on the day, but they could get no closer than that because the Cardinals scored again, and that put the game out of reach, and it was a disappointing afternoon for the Browns as they lose at home 30-14. They're 500. They're hurt, and they don't have a whole lot of time to get better and really get all healed up for Thursday. So we'll have to see who will be able to play. That's going to be the big question for Thursday night. And I do feel that this game for the Browns is a must win. They must win. They must go to 4-3. They cannot go to 3-4. And that's just me, and I think a lot of people feel that same way. So, but this was just a disappointing game for the Browns yesterday. It was very disappointing. Not a good day for the Browns yesterday. We will go over all of yesterday's action. The late games right now. I'm going to flip it back for that. I'm trying to get my CBSSports.com back on the screen here, and I'm having some technical problems with that because they're doing some organizing, what they are doing with it right now. Well, you already know Tampa Bay beat the Eagles last Thursday night, 28-22. The Jacksonville Jaguars got their... Actually, no, let me do the late games first. You already know the Browns lost 37-14. The LA Raiders beat the Denver Broncos at Empire Field at Mile High, 34-24. And I got to give the game ball to Derek Carr on that one. And this was quite a surprising win for the Las Vegas Raiders. I thought Denver for sure get the win, but did not go that way. The Dallas Cowboys beat the New England Patriots in overtime, 35-29, and I give the game balls to Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and CeeDee Lamb as well. Give one to them. And last night on Sunday Night Football, the Steelers beat the Seahawks in overtime, 23-20. So Big Ben Roethlisberger gets the game ball in that, and James Conner as well. So, and right now the Bills and Titans game is going on. I have not been able to get a score of that game. Actually, I will still. I believe the Bills are winning right now, and I can't. Still can't get back on my screen just yet here. Oh, but I will get a score for you in just a moment. I will get one for you. And but this is. So I'm trying to get a score for the game, and I think the Bills are winning, but I'm not 100% sure. But so I'm gonna just bear with me just for a minute, as I'm trying to look at to see if I can get you a score. So hold on just a moment. And yes, the Bills are winning right now. It is 31-14 Bills in the fourth quarter. And I think the Bills have the ball right now, and there's 12:54 left to go. So, and the Bills are coming off a a big win over the Chiefs last week, 38-20, and they're going to look to try to win this one tonight. And the Titans are coming off a 37-19 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars last week. So we'll see what happens if the Bills can get the win tonight, and it looks like they are going to get it. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Late Game Sports Game Show, Sunday Night Football Post Game Show, and Monday Night Football Update Show. I'll be back with the Monday Night Football Post Game Show, and you'll get a trivia question then once the game between the Bills and Titans has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day, and every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.